Hi, this is Jamey from Stonemeyer Games, and I'm here today to talk about my most favorites and my least favorite mechanisms in Rhino Hero. Normally I don't talk about my least favorite elements of games, but today it's so closely tied to my favorite element, my favorite mechanism, that I thought I'd discuss it anyway. So basically in Rhino Hero you are competitively building a stack of cards. That's pretty much the game, and you're hoping the stack doesn't fall down on your turn, and you're trying to get rid of cards in hand. If you get rid of all the cards in hand, you win the game. It's fun, it's light, it's quick. It's not really a game about winning. It's more so about building this fun tower, and it's an extra bonus if you happen to win. Now, my favorite mechanism in this game is that on your turn, you're placing a few vertical cards to kind of make the tower go up, and then at the end of your turn, you take a card from your hand, which are these really beautiful, thick cards with foil embossing. They're awesome. You're taking one of those cards and you're laying it down horizontally to form the next floor of this tower. And that's where a game that is otherwise a dexterity game actually has some interesting decisions, because the card you put down has some different stuff on it. Some of the stuff that's on there will be like outlines of the bent cards that you're going to put down to form the vertical stack. So it shows the next player where they have to place those bent cards. Sometimes there are icons in the upper left-hand corner that force the next player to do something special, like they have to play an extra card, or actually that's usually good if they play an extra card. And I'll get to more of that aspect of the game in a second. The last thing the cards can do is they can tell you, or they can tell the next player where they have to move the rhino. There's a big rhino meeple who might have to move onto that platform. So I love this element of choice in what's otherwise a light dexterity game, because you're choosing a card from hand and making the next player do something interesting, hopefully. And that's the fun of the game. The fun of the game is on your turn, you're placing multiple cards. You're putting vertical cards up and trying to make sure the tower doesn't fall down, and then you're placing a card from hand. You're choosing a card from hand and putting it down and still hoping the tower doesn't fall down. Now this is where things can go wrong just a little bit, because there are two types of cards in the game that either skip the next player, skips their turn entirely, or reverses the order, which is essentially a skip, because the next player has been gearing up, they're ready, they're excited for their turn, and you're going backwards the other way. So you're skipping their turn. In terms of modern game design, you cannot have a player lose their turn. You just can't do it. And in my opinion, it doesn't even really matter the type of game. This is a light and fun game, but this is kind of an Uno mechanism. In an Uno, you get a lot of turns. In Rhino Hero, you may only get one turn the entire game, because it's this precarious tower you're building. It can fall down at any moment. So if you get your turn skipped, you may never get to play at all in this game. And the whole fun of Rhino Hero is participating in the building of this tower. Whether or not you win or lose, it really doesn't matter. What matters is that you get to place some stuff in this tower. So if you get skipped or you get reversed at the wrong time and you just don't get your turn, it really sucks. And so I fix this when I'm playing by doing a couple different things. One, I just don't play those cards. So it's a player fix. You can just not play the skip card, or the reverse card if you have that option, and you can avoid doing that to another player. But a better fix that we've started to use is on the skip cards, you instead of skipping, you start a new tower. This is my friend Josh's idea. So usually you're only building one tower, and so we've basically changed the meaning of the skip icon. So if you play that icon, it means the next player, instead of placing on the main tower, they have to start a new tower that players can optionally play on. And then for the reverse card, instead of it being reverse, it forces the next player to place an additional vertical card. It just adds, one more moment where they can mess up the tower with poor dexterity. And I'm open to hearing your solutions in the comments as well. Now, normally, I really don't like to fix other designers' games, because I want to respect the design, and either I like it or I don't like it, and I play it or I don't play it. But Rhino Hero is such a great, fun, light filler game that I want to continue to play, that I just can't bear to have a mechanism that causes a player to lose a turn and not participate in the building of the tower. So I'm curious about your thoughts about this mechanism. Are there any games that you enjoy that have a lose your turn mechanism that are still somehow fun despite that? I bet they're out there. I bet I'm just not thinking of one. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Yeah, that's all for me this week. Thanks.